So go ahead.
Okay, thanks, Pablo. Hello, everyone. Warm welcome from my side. I'm Nicholas Jordan. I'm working for the data access services supporting. And in the today's sessions, we want to have a look into how to accessing Sentinel-3 data in the future through the data store. And as a little appetizer, at the end, I will share with you some exclusive news, how you can participate as a beta tester for the Sentinel-3 data. So let me share my screen and then we will start. So first of all, how can you access the data store and the data store documentation? By the way, check out our new our new news. You can see here the Wind Watchman looks very amazing. This opener on the website, and it's on how to make better wind observation. It's very interesting. So if you are interested in this one, please check it out. So, but now when we want to find the data store, we have to go to satellites and to the point in the navigation called how to access our data. When you are clicking on it, you will come to this simple site, and there you have links to all our data access services like EUMETSAT. We had in a previous training session for the data store, the data center, and CODA. If you are already working with Sentinel-3 data, you may know CODA. CODA is the platform where you can actually download Sentinel-3 data at the moment. But in the future, as I said, we want to ingest all the Sentinel-3 data into the data store. So we have a single access, for all our data at EUMETSAT at the data store. So, but when you are new, it's good to know where to find help, and help you will find always at the data access services knowledge base. And there you have all the information about all our data access services. As I said, EUMETSAT, the data center, data store, data tailor, or our new data access client called EUMDAC. This one, for example, but today we are focusing on the data store. And when you are going to the data store, you will come to the knowledge base for everything data store related stuff. So you have different ways to access the data store. When you are clicking on the sub-navigation here on data, on accessing the data store, you can find some ways, for example, the web user interface we will focus today on, or the application programming interface, the APIs. When you are interested in have programmatic access to our data, this is absolutely the point you should have a look into. We have some explanations about the API, and we have Jupyter notebooks for many best practices on how to use our APIs to download or search for data. So, but today we want to have a look into the data store, and to get to the data store, we just type in data.eumetsat.int, and then we are coming to the data store. You can see it here, data store. We are on the right side. Please be aware, I'm currently logged in. So if you are not logged in, you may see less data than me. And in my presentation, you can find Sentinel-3 data. But in real, when you are logged in at the moment at the data store, you won't find any Sentinel-3 data, because at the moment it's on the beta status and we are testing it. The official launch for Sentinel-3 data in the data store will be in the beginning of April. So less than a month ago to access all the Sentinel-3 data in the data store. But let's check what we can do. So of course, we want to find Sentinel-3 data. So we are just typing in the search Sentinel-3 data, and then we can find all our collections from Sentinel-3. On the left side in the sidebar, we have some options to filter our data. we are looking for Olchi data. We want data for download, and we could find some for a specific time range, for example, or specific processing levels. Today, we want to check this one for the demonstration, the Olchi level 1B full resolution product from Sentinel-3. To accessing the data, we just clicking to access the data. And now we are into the collection of Sentinel-3. So the Sentinel-3 missions have a lot of collections, as you said, as you saw on the page before, with different types of data. And here we are just in the Olchi collection. So our first filter is for this collection. And now we can take a look to the products in the Olchi collection we selected. So we can look for a specific time range, for example. So let's look for the whole data from March and click show results. And now we have a list of all the products from this mission and from this collection from our selected time range. We can click on the products, and then we can see here in the map on the right side the footprint of this product. So when we want to check a specific location, for example, a specific area of interest, we can zoom in and out on this map and use some ways to filtering data and reduce the number of products we can see here to get just the products that are interesting for us. For example, I'm using now the area of interest polygon, and I just can make a polygon here. And now click on search, show results, and the products, you can see it here, was minimized to just to the products that covering partly or completely our field of interest. We can double check this here, and you can see all the products we have now in our list are covering some parts of our area of interest. So when you need more information about a specific product, for example, you can click on this simple icon with I for information, and you have now a preview image of this product as natural color image. You can click through the results, and you will see here the preview of this specific tile. So it's very little, but it's enough to get an impression of the cloud cover, and it's very useful to see where I am. For example, here we have the Red Sea and the Nile River below it. And what we have else is we can see, of course, the file names. We can see the files included in the product. So each band of the product is listed here. And now we can say we want to just download a specific band, or we can also download the whole product to add it to the cart. But there are some other ways to download it. Of course, we also can just download it through the search results list, but we also can check every product we want to have and add it to the cart. And now we have here the cart, and we can click on it, and now we have all the products we want to download in this cart. We can click on download cart, then we will downloading not all the products. We will download an XML file with the products specified in, so you can programmatically, for example, iterate over this file and download all that stuff programmatically. Or we can say we want to customize them through the data tailor and then just clicking customize card. So if you are completely new to EUMETSAT data access services, let me shortly explain what data tailor does. The data store just provides the data, and when you are searching here for an area of interest like we did on this area, for example, we don't subsetting the data, you will just filtering the data. So when you are downloading now this product, for example, then you will download the whole product and not only the part who is in which is in our area of interest. So it's just a filter and not a tailoring or not a subsetting. The subsetting and some other tailoring stuff like projection, reprojection, or have some geographical subsetting you can do with a data tailor. And that's a product that currently works not with Sentinel-3 data, but as soon as the data are publicly available, the data tailor will offer also the tailoring of Sentinel-3 data. So yes, that is the part of the data tailor. When you are completely new to our services, maybe it's a bit confusing why you can't find all the data in the data store. Therefore, I can recommend a lot the navigator of EUMETSAT. And the navigator looks a bit like the data store, but it's just a catalog. So for example, when you are here looking for some stuff like wind, you can find a lot more data. And when you are clicking on the data, you can see where you can download or can find the data from. So EUMETSAT have a lot of data providers. And for example, the SAFs, which have some specific products. And there you can find all the data. For example, this data is only available in the data center. You can see in which formats it's available, and you can just click on it and get to the right platform where you can download this data. Sometimes we have a lot more data. For example, when we are looking for severe data, then we will have a lot more, I think. Yeah, here, for example, you can see this data you can accessing through the data store I showed you before, through EUMETCAST and the data center, for example, and you can get it in a lot of different formats, with also a link where you can get this format from. So when you are just starting with EUMETSAT, it's very good to know where to start. I would recommend the navigator to get an overview about all the data we provide. And then when you find the right platform, then go ahead with this platform. In this case, we are downloading the Sentinel-3 data from the data store, and we just can click this here and you can see the download starts immediately. So as I said, we have an exclusive offer for you today, because the Sentinel-3 data in the data store are not available for the public at the moment. As I said, it will come in the beginning of April, but for you, we can offer today that you could be a beta tester for the Sentinel-3 data in the data store. By the way, next week, we will launch a new version of the data store. It looks absolutely the same like this one I showed you, but we have some other features in it. For example, you can filter through file names, and it prepared the data store to offer the Sentinel-3 data. But when you want to using the Sentinel-3 data for the next 4 weeks before it will publicly available through the data store, you can just write me an email to niklas.jordan@ external.eumetsat.int, I write the email also in the chat in a few seconds, then I can give you the permissions to use the Sentinel-3 data in data store, today or tomorrow, depending on when you are writing me. But that is a very exclusive offer for you to get started with Sentinel-3 data and hopefully get back to us when you have any critics or feedbacks on how the feeling with the Sentinel-3 data and data store is, or if there are any features you are missing to work properly with the Sentinel-3 data. It would be very helpful if you come back with this to us, just answering the email I write you, or of course, you can every time writing us your feedback to the ops at EUMETSAT.int. You can find this the ways on how to get in touch with us also in the knowledge base. For example, when we are going to the data store knowledge base, you will find here the email address for our help desk. You can let there all your feedback, all wishes for features you have. And of course, if you want to wish a specific feature, you can write there too. And if you want to have the beta access for the Sentinel-3 data, just write a message to me and I provide these permissions to you. So if you have any questions now, I'm totally open for it. Feel free to ask everything, not limited to the data store. You can ask us to all our data access services.
In the Slido, you can always write there the question, or you can write in the chat, or you can, if you want, you can unmute yourself in Zoom and just ask away.
So I posted the email address from me in the chat. So if you like to be beta tester, just write me a message.
Yeah, it was apparently super clear, so no questions. Yeah, we can give it a couple more minutes in case someone comes up with something.
Yeah, the data store is a very straightforward way to accessing our data, so it's not very complicated. But yeah, if you need any help, don't hesitate and ask us at any time through the help desk.
I have a question, Niklas, actually, myself. Is the Sentinel-3 data that will be available through the data store, is that something that it could be already used? So is there any views in EUMETView, any data in EUMETView in terms of images that people can access already today?
Yeah, let me double check this, but yeah, I think in EUMETView we already have the Sentinel-3 data. So if you don't need, yeah, we have it. So if you don't have the don't need the native data, let me share screen. Then you just can go to the EUMETView service, click on Add Layers and searching for Sentinel-3 data, and you will find a bunch of data sets from Sentinel-3 data, and you can just display it on your map. There it is, for example, one orbit. But we have also in the EUMETView an accumulated product for accumulated Sentinel-3 data of a daily basis. So let me show you. We can just take this one, for example, and it will accumulate all the data from the actual day into one image. Let's check yesterday. There we have a full cycle of it, and you can see the image will be bigger as we get later the day. So now we have the complete image. So yeah, that's a completely different way to accessing the data, because this one are just images. And if you need the native data, you have to go through the data store, or at the moment you can also accessing it through the Coda platform.
Thank you, Niklas. We have a question from Brando on Slido. Let me just show it to you. Wait a moment. I will just read it. Anyway, there is already an updated list of the products that are going to be available in the data store for the Sentinel-3 data, maybe in Confluence.
We have a catalog of the data that are already available, yes, but not for the upcoming one. So you can't see my display, right? So I have to share again. So now I'm in the knowledge base from the data store, and we have here on the left side, when you are clicking on the little arrow beside data store overview, we have these current data store catalog, and there you can find all the data that is accessible in the data store at the moment. So, but we don't, if the question is about a roadmap, for example, what data is coming when, then we don't have this publicly, unfortunately, but the data which we have, which we have already is here available in this catalog.
Okay, thanks. That's enough.
Great.
Yeah, I would like to also remind you that very likely in the upcoming sessions of this series of how-to sessions, we will come back to show you EUMETView again at some point. And likely the next one, so next month in April, second week of April, we will show the new functionality that we introduced in our data access client. So we already showed a couple of months ago, we showed this data access client, which is a library in Python, but also a command line interface software, which makes the usage of the API of these data store and data tailor services much easier for users. So we are currently, so there's ongoing development on this tool, and very likely next month we will show that. I'm going to post in the chat where you can see the next sessions. So there's a Moodle page, which if you're interested in this, I recommend you bookmarking that page, because that's the best place to go to know what's coming on this series. So let me just copy paste that on the chat. Here it is. Yeah, if you access that page, you will see that it describes what this series is about. It also gives you a link to the Slido project where you can pose your questions. It provides when the next session will be, and also the link to register. And last but not least, you have the videos of, so we are recording this session and we will post the video in this page, in this website, and you can always refer back to each session we've done just to see if you missed it or you attended but you want to recall something we mentioned, you can always check that. And the next session, I see that it's tentatively planned for I don't have it here. Yeah, weirdly enough, I don't have it here, but I think we will do it on the 7th of April, Thursday, 7th of April. But yeah, just keep an eye on this Moodle page that I posted, and in there we will post the next. All right, so if there's no more questions, I think we can close the session for today. So again, thanks a lot for joining and for your interest. And yeah, if you like this concept of this series, if you find it useful, just spread the word, please. And remember that you can use the Slido anytime to pose your questions. You can also contact the service desk, so the help desk at ops@eumetsat.int. And you can provide there any issues you're having. So if you want to accomplish something and you don't know how to, there's always someone at EUMETSAT that would be very happy to help you. So I will stop recording now.